2025. I'm going to do a week in review. So starting on a weekly, let me show you real quick, homes. This is our last weekly candle here. Very bullish, very, very bullish. And we can see a long bearish wick to the bottom here. Significance of that wick is price was uneven throughout all of right here, based on the weekly time frame at least. So what this is just regular expansion, starting from the bottom, expansion, pullback, expansion. I guess you could say this is a pullback, expansion, pullback. See? But anyways, that helps with market direction for sure. So we can see we've been making low, higher low, high, higher high. This isn't really a high. This isn't really structural. But let's say higher high, higher low. We've continually been making bullish runs here since January 13th. So pretty much from the year start, the GU has been bullish. All right. So where we should be taking our attention to is the top of this zone here based on last week. Last week would be this big blue. I'll put a line there real quick just so we can see. Big blue here. This is the last week. Well, the week before. So this would be last week. Alright, so what I'm saying as well is that we really should be taking our attention to here. Oh, can use replay because it's over the daily. So look, that's where we should really be taking our attention to, because this is the last low formed in a bullish run. So unless something happens here, we will continue to be bullish, that's for sure. And this right here is an automatic indicator. It's a higher high, even though it's just showing us that there's stress on the buyer side here. It's fighting to go above these highs, but which is fine. What we're paying attention to, or what we should have been paying attention to, are these lows here. Let me mark this out too, because we got this off of the weekly. Just gonna use my weekly template. And on the daily time frame here, it even still shows, what's this, Friday, April 4th. Okay, so with all of this on the daily time frame, we can see that the level that we had is still holding, been holding. This level right here has been holding as well. The same gap that I showed on the weekly, on the daily it's a little more specific. So this is the only spot here where we have a gap in equal price. And I'll hold on. This is a fair value gap here. And just pretty much means that in that area we were buying, we weren't really selling though. So in this area, everything is black. The wick doesn't even go into this on each side. So this is buying and selling, this is buying and selling, this is purely just buying. That's not fair. That's not an equal price. Price always has to check and balance. So this is a check. A balance would be it running into here. So that's what we would be looking at overall, especially with us being bullish. It goes along with structure. That's a pullback. So coming into the week though, Friday we can see that we got a big bearish rejection into here. The same AOI we've been focusing on based on the daily time frames. We can probably skip forward to Monday. Yeah, Monday we wick straight into this. The last one we could have bought in here, but we're way past that. So Monday straight into the gap, filled that gap. Very strong, very bullish. But bear in mind, overall structure is bullish, my fam. The fuck, let's stay in the giant tool. Overall structure is bullish. Low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Still a higher low here. Right? High, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, and another higher high. Very bullish. This is nothing but buying. We shouldn't be doing anything in here besides buying for days. So it means that from the year start, we're in April now. Really and truly, my outward look on GU should have been generally bullish. These sells, no, no wrong if you miss all them sell ya, cause everything is going up. So once we're once we're buying, we're on the right side of the market. I just wasn't paying attention to that. But anyways, let's come out of the giant tool too. Alright, so the reason why I was mentioning that we need to bear in mind that overall market is bullish is because of the strength of these bearish candles here. This is something that scared me in real time. This is something that had me considering, oh, it might just be making a break here because this is pushing through, hasn't come back to retest necessarily, but pushing straight through the lows that we are holding on the weekly time frame. And this is very strong bearish momentum. What this is in reality, based on the weekly time frame, that's a wick. That's it. That's a fucking wick. What it means, that's pure manipulation. This is banks, hedge funds, big money appliers selling it off to a better price or selling off what they're holding gives us a better price to buy. This pair is going up. It's always going up. It's something that I just realized just now too. Alright, but yeah, daily is very, very bearish. Very bearish. So Monday we would be staying out of this completely, especially after that. Way up here. So I mean, I would consider it just for the sake, because it could be manipulation, but it's Monday. The market hasn't really set its feet. Not super confident in that. Nothing wrong with leaving it alone. And this is where our replay runs out. Forgot about that. But besides the point, you see what happens there anyways. On H4, let's get a better look at this bad boy. This is way too bright. Yeah, so H4, we can see we run right into here. What time is this? 1 p.m. on Monday. Alright, we run right into here, 1 p.m. on Monday, established a floor, failed to break that floor. While current market conditions are bearish and heavily bearish, we failed. Right here, this should be an automatic indicator that, hey, something might be happening. This is 5 o'clock on Tuesday. Not really a day that I trade. Wednesday, 1 p.m. or 9 a.m. That's more along the lines of where I would trade. But looking at Tuesday here, Tuesday would have given us a good opportunity to get in as well. 5 a.m. This is 9, so I would be somewhere above here in terms of position overall. Would that make sense? That's a big stop. 30 pips hitting at least here. It would make so much sense. It really would have. But anyways, so H4, we can see established a floor, established a lower high, but failed to make a lower low. That by itself indicating that the actual market position, the actual market direction is probably coming in here. H1, we get a better look at this. Look at this. Look at this. So, floor has been established. We run through that floor. That's a liquidity grab. Minor, but it's still a liquidity grab. And then we create a higher high, higher low. This followed structure in a sense makes a lower high, lower low, fails to make a lower low. Anywhere after this point would be a good entry. Literally anywhere. Fail to make a lower low here. Let me mark it out, see if we can find it on a smaller time frame. This is a bit of a ways out still. 6, too early. 7, 8 is high. 11 would be a good time right after this candle here. But that's a little bit late. I might have been at work and I could have missed that. So, better options available. Not well, yeah, because this is the top of our level here. So it coming back into here, if only I had this calmness of mind while I was actually doing it. I also don't even know how to stop the recording, but that's fine. So where's this? Tuesday, 9:30. Can it go back that far? Yes, it can. I really use the 5 minute to trade, but 15 should show all the same. Just to get the concept across. So this was Tuesday 5:30. We're saying it's continuing the trend here. Low, lower low, fail to create a lower low, comes back up. This 11:15 candle is the best entry on the low. This right here is actually the best entry we could have gotten. Would I have been able to grab it? I'm not so sure, but this would have been amazing. 37 pip stop. Too much noise on the 1 hour. H4 is a little better, but remember, we're trading off of the daily. So based on the daily, where we got in there, what we should be looking at, we're bullish. So this is the first level really, this high. That's if we're continuing to be bullish, we're gonna take these lows here. We're gonna, well, really we're taking high. So this high, then this high, then this high, really and truly. But this by itself is a 1 to 4. That's 171 pips. And let's see, date and time tracker. How long would I have even been in there? I don't think I have that one saved. Oh, I do. Date and price. Here it is. So if we got in here, I would have been in this trade for one whole day. That's it. One day, 170 pips. One day. Another option as well. Considering we're saying the best entry was really Wednesday. Well, a good early entry is Tuesday. An aggressive entry, I should say. A good entry would be Wednesday, where it actually forms that push here, because that gives us even more data, more reliability there. Same concept. We had the low, failed to create a lower low. This is a higher low. We now established a higher high. This lower low to the T. That's beautiful. Only thing that we would be running from there is the timing, because like I said, I work at like 10:30. So let's see if it gives us a better look in here at all. Anything that might have allowed us to get in on it, any good reason at least. So no, this don't start move till not late down in other times. There's no actual indication of, no actual reason to enter off of what I'm seeing in terms of the data there, besides the simple fact of knowing what's going on the higher time frames. But this is outside my trading window as well. A couple of reasons to consider that I might have missed it regardless. But it all comes down to confidence again. Because even seeing all of this 10 o'clock, it's pushing down by 10:30 to push up 10:25, 10:30. So this could have been our entry right here. That right there, based on the 5. So there was actually an allotment of time for us to get in. But it's like 10:30 on the dot. Alright. So I would have probably put it below here, being a little stingy. But really and truly based off what I'm trading on, I should have done underneath here. Especially because I'm going to be holding it long. We can do below here, which doesn't look like it would have worked out. But 50 pips, which is a lot. Let's say 40 pips. A 40 pip stop, meaning once we hit 80, that's 1 to 2. But we're trading this off. Even if we're trading this off before, I'm pretty sure this is the wick that I was telling you would be our first TP. Somewhere up here, I assume is where that other candle was, the second TP. And up here, look at that. That's amazing. That is amazing.